Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us again today. We've got a special guest with us to talk about Georgetown leaders. This conversation we're having with leaders in the community, both in Georgetown, Round Rock, and Austin. It's turned into a thing. Who would have thought? So today I've got a very, very special guest with us. We've got Jody O'Brien. She is the executive director with the United Way of Williamson County. They're doing some awesome things within Williamson County and the Georgetown area and Round Rock. And I wanted to bring her on to talk a little bit more about the organization, what they're doing out there. So Jody, tell us a little bit more about United Way of Williamson County and who you guys serve.
Yeah, so we serve the population and the residents, and our goal is to make sure that everybody in our community has the opportunity to thrive. And we do that with three pillars. We do that through financial stability, health, and education. And so we really look at that holistic approach. And what we have found in Williamson County, especially, is the population that's really needing the help are those paycheck to paycheck. There are 34% of the population that is really struggling to make ends meet. Well, now with COVID, that number is just going to skyrocket. And so we are looking at how we can best work with our partner agencies, work with our programs, work with our partner United Ways to make sure that we are serving that population and seeing what those needs are. I think that, not only paycheck to paycheck, but as this COVID continues to affect us, both the businesses, but mentally, we're going to see a lot more mental health needs. I know, just speaking to other United Ways throughout the nation, that's one great thing about us is we have a good network, is the child abuse and the domestic violence that's going through the roof too. So those numbers are going to crawl. So as we look right now at the food and the basic needs and the rent assistance, but we are also looking at that bigger picture of down the road of some of those other needs that are going to be really extremely high.
That has got to be difficult to plan for. So being out in the community as much as you guys have been, and with COVID coming in the past, 30 to 45 days, how's that changed business for you guys? How are you guys able to flex and change and still serve, the folks that need you out there?
One thing is, thank goodness for technology and companies like yourself who have kind of got us. We were actually lucky and had ramped up a little bit. So we had really digitized a lot of we can have our Zoom meetings, we can have Teams meetings. So we're doing a lot virtually. I think the hardest part for us has been we're really usually out there connecting with different businesses and different organizations. And so trying to find that way to get to know who our donors are and get to know the businesses that we normally work with, just finding ways to connect through the virtual world. And so, like Georgetown Chambers had virtual, business before hours. And so being able to do that has been really kind of fun. Our team, we really try to meet at least twice a week, through Zoom meetings. And that's been, actually we use Teams because CTTS got us hooked up with that. So we've been able to really see each other, and it's been great for the mental part of our team too, because even though we're really ready and we can do all of our work except for processing checks and some of the things we maybe have to go in the office to sign things for, but to really connect with each other through texting, email, and Teams meetings. I think that's been the biggest struggle, is somebody's having a great week and then somebody's not having such a great week. So we really try to make sure that our team's okay. I think that's been my biggest role, is to just make sure that everybody, it's the work, it gets done. We get to see, we make sure that the financials and the need is being met through the impact work with the community impact grants that we do. But a lot of it through this past 47-ish days has been just really keeping our team strong. And that's been probably the biggest challenge.
Sure. You mentioned donors. So what's a typical donor look like for you? Is that an individual? Is it an organization? Is it both?
Both. We have some great partner agents or partner businesses that we do. They'll do they sponsor, or they do a corporate donation. But we also have a lot of workplace campaigns. So that's going to change. So we usually go into businesses, like we usually, are doing presentations at HEB. We do ERCOT, Round Rock ISD, Georgetown ISD. And those all have really changed Toyota Cedar Park. We've got some great partnerships. So we're really looking at figuring out how we're going to be doing our campaigns in the workplace, and really reaching out to those individual donors. So we connect with them at their workplace, and then find out what their needs are, and then we try to really connect them with what their personal beliefs and their personal passions are. And so that's something that we'll be really looking at how that's going to look in the usually August, September, when we really start kicking off campaign.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine that's going to change, and it's probably going to change 100 times between now and then. So
yes,
that's quite the challenge. So you mentioned technology a little bit and how you guys are leveraging that. Is there any other tips and tricks, or how you're keeping your team? You talked about your team and keeping the morale high within the office and things like that. Is there anything else that is a little nugget that somebody else that's watching out there, small business, another nonprofit, that might be able to learn from y'all's experience?
Yeah, I think that to really cut everybody some slack as well, and know that if it's a beautiful day out, to say, okay, guys, either go take your laptop outside, go stop working, go to your break room and have some lunch, and just really take that time to get away from it, because you could easily, as we all know, sit down at 7 when you get up and sit in your pajamas and be here all day. And the next thing you know, it's you work 15 hours, and that's not good either. You've got to separate a little bit. So we've really worked hard at saying, hey, texting everybody, hey guys, it's supposed to rain this afternoon, so you guys just go walk, take a walk, take your dogs for a walk, go for a walk around the block, but anything just to try to keep them sane. And for those parents who are teaching their children, just know that that's more important than any work that we have. Bosses don't always think that way, but it's got to be a balance.
It does have to be a balance, and it's good that you've got that ability to keep it personal and understand that people are getting up earlier, they're getting into the office earlier, they're staying later, but yet you might need to take a 2-hour lunch break in order to just kind of take a deep breath and recollect yourself and then get going again.
Yeah, kind of like that whole water cooler, you sit there and think, how many times are we standing outside in our office, just like touching base, making sure everybody's okay, especially on Mondays, catching up, doing our staff meeting. But yet, we have a lot of squirrels at our office, so we like, hey,
Yeah.
But really, allowing that time and letting people know that it's okay, because especially the process oriented, or your finance people and who are really like, I have to clock in and clock out, and everything has to have a process. So it's been really hard for them to break away a little bit and just be like, okay, yeah, stop working for 10 minutes and go do something else.
Sure. Well, it's good that you guys are flexible to still handle business and then be able to do that side of things and keep it personal. So tell everybody if they wanted to reach out to you guys, what's the best way to communicate with you? Is there anything from the community standpoint that you'd like to raise awareness to, or I know that events and things like that are in a limbo stage right now, but I know you've got huge events with MLK Day and things like that, where you're bringing folks all around the Williamson County area to help other nonprofits, and share with us how, what that looks like and just how to get in touch with you in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you could still call our office number, which, because we have voice over IP, thank you, CTTS. So it rings right into our computers. So that's been a savior. Anybody that's looking for just, like a reference or, referral, like I need, rent assistance or something like that, really using our 211, United Way's 211 number is the best way to do it. It keeps track of, we try to keep that updated all the time with all of our Williamson County nonprofits, getting the latest information, and it gives it one spot, an easy phone call. Another thing is, like if you were looking, we're not sure how these volunteer events are going to look like. I know we're working on different kind of virtual volunteering. So if there's something that you do virtually and you'd like to help another nonprofit or us out, we would, give us a call. We want to connect you with some of those nonprofits. And I think that's what we've been also trying to do, is have all of our partner agencies on a call every week too, to see what they're looking for, what their needs are. You know, maybe a couple calls ago, they were really looking for masks. And so we try to just, you know, if there's something you have or a skill you have, we're actually looking at, you know, trying to figure out how to rebuild a website, because, hey, somebody might be at home, and there's a lot of great opportunities for helping with that virtually. So I think we're going to be virtual for a little while, and to be safe for everybody, if you can, we're going to try to be virtual as long as possible. And it's working well, and so we hopefully will be able to cut some expenses as we've adjusted.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Folks, if you don't know United Way of Williamson County, you need to get to know them. They're a conduit to a lot of different nonprofits in the area. They're doing awesome work. And Jody, thank you very much for taking the time to come on Georgetown Leaders and just chat for a few minutes. And hopefully we'll have you back on in the future, and you know, talk about things as post-COVID-19 life moves forward, and all the good stuff that United Way of Williamson County does.
Yeah, when we can have haircuts and makeup, and we'll never wear makeup again.
Maybe not. I know I won't, so that'll be good.
I appreciate all that you're doing too, and thank you for putting this together. This is awesome.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're welcome. So we'll see you soon, and thanks everybody. Please go out and check out United Way of Williamson County, and learn more about their organization. They're a great group of folks. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.